And welcome back to the Gadget Spot.
Whoop! Hey, everybody.
2 weeks have gone by.
Yeah.
Life happens.
I'm still alive. And that was not a sure thing. I got influenza B, and then a week after that...
Swine flu.
No, some sort of vicious head cold. But it felt like the influenza was like, you know what? I'm going to send one of my backup thugs to come haunt you.
You may have defeated me.
Yeah.
Now try him.
Yeah.
And I got influenza puke.
Yeah, you got the stomach thing going on. I'm keeping a healthy distance from you.
You guys
At least 2 feet.
I had allergies.
Dude.
What about you, Egg?
Yeah, the allergy season's coming back.
You guys have kids?
No.
Nah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
This explains why this is
They
the
don't
sick side of the table.
They don't-
And that's the well side
They
of the
don't
table.
literally lick Petri dishes every day, because that's what happens to me
You
every
gotta
day.
teach your kids something different,
Yeah.
man.
Like, quit putting your fingers in Daddy's mouth, because I'm going to lose work.
Take your fingers out of your butt crack.
On a side note, have you noticed that Simon leaves us alone right until we start recording?
Yeah, and then he comes up and digs his claws into my leg. Yeah.
He's like, give me attention. I know you're doing something. Okay, hey, buddy. Just crawl up on my lap.
Yep.
All right, let's introduce ourselves. Owen.
Hey, my name's Owen. You can follow me on Twitter at TechNoan. I tweeted today.
So you tweeted today.
Yeah, I tweeted today, and I'm going to do more. I promise to do more tweeting in the next couple weeks.
Have you considered your audience in this goal? Do they really want you to tweet more?
Oh, no, they don't.
Okay,
No,
all right.
most of them are fake people.
Just remember
I
that.
mean, like, 90% of Twitter is fake anyway.
Oh, they're purging them though.
Yeah.
They're purging all those Russian bots.
Yeah, that's exciting, actually. I think that this whole Russia hacking bot scandal thing, it's a good time for all these social networks to clean
their
up.
act up.
They're like, hey, we're banning all you trolls and fake news people and all that.
What's the Russian word for troll?
I don't know.
Huh.
Troll. I don't know.
Okay, Google.
I speak Russian. I don't know.
What, you do it?
Yeah.
And
How
you
do you
don't know
say
what the word
troll
is for
in
troll?
It's not like a common word.
Oh, I figured it might be because it's over there by Scandinavia, and that's like super common over there.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it here. Oh, I can't read it because they
Here,
have a
turn
different
around.
alphabet.
Oh, he can, though? Turn it around.
All right, here we go. Oh, wait, no, I lost it. That was not it.
This is a tech podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Pronounced almost like English troll, but the L is softer. Troll.
Troll.
Troll?
Troll.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
There, we taught you something.
Yeah, there's lots of them. Factories of them, in fact,
Indeed.
that have been uncovered, which is not shocking, but still shocking.
You been
Anyway.
playing anything?
Yeah, I got the new machine, the new Xbox One X.
yeah.
Oh.
That was a lot of fun, and I didn't play it. I've
Oh.
still been playing Secret of Mana because I
Okay.
really like that game.
You know, that totally fits in with your personality.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know. Anyway, so yeah, I've been playing that a little bit. Kid really loves playing that with me, so me and him have been able to play that old system a little
Does
bit
that
more.
have co-op?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Secret of Mana is 2 players after the first 30 minutes.
Ah.
So you have to remember that because you don't have the characters until then.
Now, I don't know why I just thought of this, Owen, but I recently watched Wizard of Oz, and you totally remind me of the lion who lacks courage.
Yeah.
Why would you say that about him?
He's just like the whole time I was watching him, like, that is Owen.
I don't understand why. I think it's an insult,
No?
but I'm not sure if it's just who I am. Maybe it's just who I am.
Do you sometimes...
He always had courage though. You
No,
learn
he
that
did.
at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine then. I accept that.
Do you ever make this noise?
He does make the noise like,
Yeah,
or
that's
whatever.
funny. That's funny because I do that all the time, but not in a public. Anyway.
A bedroom only thing.
Yeah. Anyway. Jarron.
Yep, Jarron. Introduce yourself.
Hey, this is Jarron. You could find me on Twitter at Jarron. Lately, I played some Bloodborne, so it's the PlayStation Plus pick for the month.
Which they've been killing it the last
Yeah, they have.
couple months.
And
Good for them.
I always wanted to play this game, and I'm really glad I waited till it was free.
Because
This game is ridiculously hard. So I played. So the first bad guy appears within like the first 30 seconds. It's like this little monster dinosaur thingy, whatever. And there's no weapons available. So I searched for like 20 minutes for a weapon that happened to be in this tiny room, and there was no weapons.
is it a stick?
No, I just went at him punching
Oh.
because I couldn't find anything else. And so I tried it at least 10 times, dying every single time. And then I called it quits. I decided if I can't beat the first enemy, I probably can't beat the next enemy, and then the next one. So that was it.
That's some good predictive logic. I like that.
Yeah, that
I
was
wonder
my.
how
That's
many
right.
people have quit in that same spot.
I'm betting
People who've paid $60 for that
I
game.
know. I'd be so mad. If,
I've
if I paid.
already pre-quit because of you saying that. So I'm not even gonna try. You just ruined. Maybe you just ruined it for a whole bunch of people.
Well, I've saved a lot of people a bunch of time.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
I even spent like an hour customizing my character. I named him Jarronius. I felt so good about it. Like I adjusted his face exactly how I wanted it, just to die 10 times in a row.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess good try.
Thanks. I also tried some PUBG Mobile. Came out today.
Oh yeah.
And
For Apple though, right? Not for
No,
Android.
both.
Oh,
Both.
really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
the performance wasn't horrible. I don't know if it was good or not. I don't have a frame count or anything, but I didn't notice any huge significant dips during the main gameplay.
Maybe they can teach the Xbox dev team a thing or two.
Yeah. Seriously. I ran naked for like a good 10 minutes. I didn't really see anyone the whole time.
Sounds
so
like your dream game.
I eventually just quit being naked.
You had your fill, and you're just like, well, I guess I'll put on clothes now.
Yeah, well-
Not getting any attention for this.
And yeah, that was it. The graphics they're okay they're good for a mobile game, but if you compare them to any other PUBG port, you're going to be disappointed because it's a mobile game. But it looks all right. I have the iPhone 10 I was playing it on, so I could choose the high graphics setting. And yeah, that's my experience.
I want to see Fortnite on mobile. That's in beta right now.
Yeah, I'm very interested in that. And I honestly, I think, what's their name? Epic?
Yeah.
I think they would do a better job since they wrote the Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're pulling almost a solid 60 frames per second off on all the consoles with that
Yeah.
game, and PUBG gets like 22 frames per second.
Yeah, and I think the style of the graphics
And it's the
is,
same game engine too. I just realized PUBG is Unreal 4.
it is, and since their graphics are more cartoony, I think it would look better on mobile.
Yeah, it translates better.
I'm still waiting for that to come to Switch.
You think
I'm
they'll put Fortnite on Switch?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, someday.
I can't see a reason why not.
Switch runs Unreal
Yeah.
Engine, you know.
I wonder how it would handle such a large open game, though.
Well, phones can do it. The Switch can
Yeah.
do it.
Oh, hey, that's a good point.
Yeah, if it's coming
Yeah.
out for iPhone, which only has 3 gigs of RAM, the Switch has 4.
Yeah, iPhone with your 3 gigs of RAM.
Oh, Tony's going to talk more about that later.
All right. Is that all you played?
Yeah, that's it.
Very nice. And we have our special guest for today, Egg Foo.
Hello, my American friends.
Yes.
I am a Russian troll. No. I'm
Yes.
Softer L. Come on.
not. You can follow me on Twitter at EGGFOU.
Nice. What have you been playing?
Monster Hunter.
Which system?
PS4.
Okay.
Yep.
Very nice. What are your thoughts on that game so far?
I've been playing Monster Hunter a long time. This is the best one by far.
Oh.
I'm over 80 hours in. I'm loving it. It's great. It's so much fun.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. When I was traveling, I was traveling in California for a week, so I played a little Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on my Switch.
That's what I've been playing.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying that. It's so many side quests. Side quests and mini games.
I hate too many side quests.
It's perfect when traveling because I'm on the plane. I'm like, hey, let's do a quick one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Cool. And I'm your host, Tony. Follow me on Twitter if you want, at QuadTTony. There's usually some tech updates there or fart jokes or both sometimes if you get really lucky, rolled into one tweet. And
I always enjoy those.
Thank you.
I'm more of a lurker though, so I don't ever reply.
I understand.
That's how you fart also.
Yeah.
He never replies.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
He just kind of
Lurker.
lurks around, does it, and leaves.
Lurk, and I'm like, well, maybe they won't notice, or maybe they will.
So, I'm on there or always on the, almost always on the Geek Show podcast, unless I'm sick or have work or something when they record. But there and also here on the Gadget Spot. So, yeah, good times. Gaming-wise, I've been playing, I picked up Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and that game is
Really?
pretty cool.
I didn't know you were into
Pay attention
JRPGs.
to the tutorials because they keep coming for like the first 20 hours.
Well, I was going to say, I'm 5 hours into it, and I get new tutorials still.
Oh, yeah.
All the
'Cause
time.
They slowly ramp things up.
Uh-huh.
So they introduce one mechanic, use it, because then they'll introduce another, and you'll start using them together.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I just made it to... I'm on the first really big Titan.
Okay.
And I'm headed towards, I guess, the main town or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've got this little cat girl with her pet tiger
Yep.
following me around.
So as a Switch owner who's looking for another game to buy, would you recommend Xenoblade Chronicles 2 or Skyrim?
Oh, if you've never played Skyrim, I would probably say Skyrim. But if you played Skyrim anytime in the last, 8 years?
Yeah.
I'd say pick up Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It's different. If you're not used to JRPGs, it's different for sure.
It's very JRPG. They embrace the weirdness.
Oh yeah, like 2
It's
hours.
weird.
2 hours into it, you get your super sword, and it's attached to a busty, scantily clad female avatar.
I'm in.
Yeah,
See?
I'm watching the trail. I'm watching it. It's not bad.
So she follows you around now. And for some reason, though, there's absolutely zero sexual tension between you and the. Well, I guess if she's a
It
robot.
was lost in translation.
Oh, was there
They-
actually some in the Japanese
Japanese
version?
Yeah, the main character is incredibly sexually awkward.
Oh, see,
and
that
he
doesn't
keeps
come
making
across.
like bad innuendos and jokes.
That doesn't come across
Yeah,
at
they
all.
they cut most of it out.
Oh, well, that's a shame because that would have been funny.
Yeah, you can find videos online where they compare the U.S. to Japanese translations.
Okay. Yeah, because it's just like she becomes a part of your party, and like your character doesn't even blink twice. He's just like, oh, this is life now.
Yeah,
This
Completely normal.
Yep, this is totally normal. So, but yeah, that's been pretty fun. I'm about 5 hours into that one.
I think I'm like over 100.
Oh man, I'm gonna come to you for
I
tips.
could have beaten it long ago, but I'm like, no, I'm going to keep doing everything because I'm really enjoying the combat. So
Nice. Yeah, it's the combat reminds me a little bit of Knights of the Old Republic.
yeah, it's very
it's-
MMO style. Like you only control one character at a time.
Yeah.
So you tap on something and it just
And it just you get
Well,
close
it auto-attacks.
and it auto attacks. Yeah,
and then you,
and you line up what you want it to do next.
yeah, like your abilities.
I don't know if I'd
So-
like that.
No, it's I like it. I don't play a lot of games like that, so it's nice to have it's a little refreshing to have.
It's been a
something
really
different.
good one for like when I'm watching TV or something.
That makes sense.
I'll just sit and play that and like go do a little side quest, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'll save like hook up to the TV when I've got like a big story moment or something.
Right.
It's been really good for that.
Nice. Yeah, that makes sense. And I've been playing a little bit of Rocket League actually. I'm finally getting to the point where I understand the made-up physics of that game a little bit.
I want to add that to what I've been playing.
Oh yeah, because you played it for 45 seconds.
Yeah,
earlier
I
today.
finished your round today,
Yeah.
so I'm adding that because I'm kind of starved. I felt like mine was a little bit lacking earlier, so I'm going to add that to my. I've been playing a little Rocket League too.
Very little.
Yeah. So anyway,
Nice though.
carry on.
Good job. All right, that's about it for introductions. Now, real quick shout out to Elon Osborne for providing the 8-bit style music that you hear interspersed throughout the podcast with things like intros to the BS segment and the outro and things like that. Thanks, Elon. Very cool. You can look him up on SoundCloud if you want to hear some more of his neat stuff. Let's go ahead and do our Patreon. Who has that up?
I got it.
Nice, Jarron. So Patreon, in case you don't know, is basically like a digital tip jar. So if you go to patreon.com/gadgetspot, you can... Simon, get off the table. You're going to wreck things. You can kick us a little dough in the form of a tip there to help us, pay for the hosting and whatnot. Always appreciated, never expected, but we really do super appreciate and love our patrons.
And what you get in return is access to all of our previous Patreon content. We did a lot of videos. What we're doing now are additional podcasts, segments of a podcast. We recently released James's 20 Last Minutes with us.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah.
We've been holding it hostage.
Yeah. But it's out there now. Yeah. Anyway, huge thank you to AJ Jasper, David Osuna, Aaron Young. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Aaron.
I play Monster Hunter with AJ.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we have fun.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep going, George.
Sorry.
Thank you, Aaron Faulkner, Spencer Knowlton, We Do Care Owen, Valentine, Kevin Ackles, Ryan McQueen, Casey Dilly, Johnny Rios, Derek Allred, Ryan Baker, Lindsay Lucas, Michael Beck, Matt Nelson, Jeffrey Kale, David Broshinsky, Roger Allen, Austin Beauregard, Pirates of the Pancreas, Dan Clark, Brian Lee,
That's a
Conrad
cool name.
Southworth, and Adam Hecht. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you, patrons. You are the bomb. And if you can't donate or whatever, that's all right as well. We just appreciate every download and share for the podcast. All right. Do we have any emails? I don't think we do.
I don't think so.
Nothing.
I don't think we got any tweets.
Facebook messages.
Facebook message. I
I think
didn't
we
see
got
any.
one on by mistake.
Well, if we did get a
Somebody-
Facebook message,
it a
it
Russian
would have
troll?
been leaked anyway.
It was a Russian troll.
Yeah, they would have analyzed it for a psychoanalyst
Yeah,
to see what scares us.
I'm giving it to the Trump administration.
Yeah.
Glad to know that social media is on our side.
I'm pretty sure they have a psychological profile. Did you hear about that? What they're doing with that data that
I
got
don't
leaked?
think so.
So they're not using it just like normal demographic data to create these things. They're using it psychologically. They have psychological profiles on these people on the data that got leaked. What scares them? What motivates them?
Facebook is so creepy.
And so what they did when this data got sold to this other company is that now they're like, oh, this person needs an ad. They want gun control. They're kind of on the fence, but they're scared of something happening. So let's get an ad in front of them that says, what if you got attacked?
Oh, jeez.
So it's more than just, it's enough to, it's psychological advertising like that is just enough to push you in a direction. If you're leaning or whatever, like if it's targeted to a fear or a motivator or whatever, and that's kind of what they showed kind of happened with it. It's
Yeah,
kinda it's kind of creepy.
What happened was an organization called Cambridge Analytica. They used Facebook's API, and they told Facebook they were just going to use it for research.
And Facebook buried the fact that they had done this, that they had like given this data up.
Yeah,
and
so it's not like they hacked in or anything. Facebook gave them the data. And of course, Cambridge Analytica went back on their word, used it.
Facebook even made them sign a legal waiver saying we've destroyed all copies of this data and that it will never see the light of day, but it definitely has. And
Is
so
Super sketchy.
Is this Cambridge in the UK?
this is their parent. They're a sub company from that. So the original
Oh.
company was a UK based company. Cambridge Analytics is here in the US, I believe.
They're still pissed about the Revolutionary War.
They're like, let's do it.
This is their way of getting back. at
Finally.
Yeah,
So-
so Facebook's stock took a dive today because
Oh
of it.
yeah, it ate it.
it. Good.
A lot of stocks did because of that.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, delete your profile, guys. Facebook's horrible.
So I still use it because
Personal opinion.
I'm already so indebted to all these companies anyway. Like I've taken all the surveys Google sends me because I like the pennies they pay me for
10
it.
cents for a survey.
So
Okay.
I definitely have a profile. You just have to learn not to be so hook, line, and sinker for ads that you see in front of you. You have to realize once you start seeing ads, even ads for conversations you've had, I talked about the purple mattress for about 20 minutes with my
We
in-laws.
all see ads for the purple mattress.
And now, yeah, that's true.
Those ads are just
But
everywhere.
I haven't until today when I was watching some YouTube, and all of a sudden I started seeing purple ads come up because we had talked about it. So once you understand how
it's
advertising works,
possible you've seen them but not noticed them.
maybe that's true.
also
And
true.
Or
Which
they're
is
just like, let's
another-
give them a new one. I don't know.
I work in advertising, so I know this sort of thing.
So-
You're the enemy.
We got an inside
Yeah.
guy.
Now, see, it'll also notice things like if your mouse hovers over that ad longer than normal.
Yeah, everything is like,
Yeah.
what do we need?
Everything's quantified.
So
Yeah.
here's what you do. Go to random websites, click on random ads.
Mess up the metrics.
Exactly.
It messes with their data. And see, that's the thing that there's, like we talked about last week, there's a big push like to choose ads or crypto. Like, would you choose? We
Right.
talked about that last week, where a lot of websites are choosing, letting the operator choose. Would you have us steal some of your clock power for an ad-free experience, or do you want to get blasted, bombarded, flashing lights,
Well, with
browser tabs that play when you don't want to, like in quiet meetings, stuff like that crap.
with the way the crypto market's going right now, it's more profitable for
Yeah.
the ads, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet the advertising industry, especially Google, are pushing hard against that because if crypto took over, there
Yeah.
goes
Oh, yeah.
their money.
Well,
That's-
and look, and you see it reflected. What's Facebook and Google both doing, and Twitter's about to follow in the crypto market. They're
Yeah.
banning all advertising for any type of ICO, wallet,
Yep.
exchange. They're banning any advertising for cryptocurrency. And they're saying it's for the good of the people because it's a bunch of ICOs or ICOs are a scam and people have been losing a lot of money and they're not wrong.
There's some truth to
Yeah,
it.
they're not wrong there. So, but they're banning it completely and it's been a little bit chilling on the market, to say the least.
A little bit
Yeah.
chilling. It's fallen like 50% in
Yeah.
the last 2 weeks.
Some people, I'm in quite a few chat channels with other miners and there's
Are they chicken little?
they're getting it's a little bit. They're like, time to start selling my gear, and you go on eBay and you just see graphics cards just hitting the market that have been mined with. But they've been mined with for a year or so, and they're still trying to sell them for
like $700
for the
$800.
current pricing. So
Crazy.
there'll be a market correction soon where people are like, yeah, I'm not going to buy a GPU for a used GPU for
Heavily used.
mining used.
Do you know what's funny? Just before the show, Owen's like, I don't have any cryptocurrency news.
Hey, I don't know where this came from. And Jarron said, no, that's not true. You're going to find something and blabber on for 20 minutes.
And it's true.
It's only been 3 minutes.
We were
here.
talking about Cambridge Analytica somehow, and then it's in cryptocurrency.
Yeah, weird. I'll slide it in where I can. That's what I like to do with things.
But
That's interesting.
going back to
Facts.
the Cambridge Analytica. So Jared Kushner bought data from them in 2016, and they're linked to like convincing people to do the Brexit.
Really?
Also, this is coming up in the Mueller investigation because they found that people that worked for Cambridge Analytics were on Trump's campaign team, and they said, no, those people weren't accessing Cambridge Analytics data; they were only using RNC data. So, but there's
Now,
that's
do you mean
still
Facebook had people there?
no. I think it was the people researchers from Cambridge Analytics.
Facebook had people there like embedded with the Trump
I
campaign as
wouldn't
well.
doubt that as well. I just
The
know
Clinton
that the current
campaign turned them down, which was stupid.
look what happened.
I'm
Exactly.
like 90% sure Facebook is the cause of Brexit and the Trump
Oh yeah,
presidency.
I think the trolling farms that you found, there's literally trolling farms in the U.S. where people just come in to create troll work, like on all sorts
In
of
the
stuff.
U.S.?
Mhm.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
just Russia?
Not well. The one I heard was in Russia, but I'm sure there's some there.
Speculation.
Yeah, speculation. But they found what they did. They did find a few factories in like actual warehouses full of people. That was their day job, to come in and troll
Oh my god.
U.S. news articles to inflame.
You know what though? There's people out there that would. There's a few people out there that would love to do that for a living.
Oh, yeah.
They would be all
The very angry people.
Yeah, they would be all about it.
Yeah.
And they're probably like, they took our jobs because they're already out there. There's a few people that are just trolls.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
But they don't get paid.
yeah,
They do it for free.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, wait, people getting paid for this? Anyway, I think we've only uncovered the tip of the iceberg, and I think that it's been going on for a while, and I think that there'll be so much more found now that Facebook and these other social media platforms are actually taking a look at it, not just going,
being,
like because
being forced to take a look
exactly
at it.
because they don't
Right.
want to lose users.
Yeah,
Let's be
exactly.
sure for sure. Let's not lose users, even if they're trolls. We like users, and we like when a troll actually starts a fire, 50,000 users get on there and
Interact with the
and
website.
interacts
Yeah.
and more users get on because they're like, what's this Facebook thing? I better make an account. I mean, even enough to maybe pull Jarron back to Facebook.
No, never.
We'll find something.
If it were any other administration, I bet Facebook would have some regulations after this. I doubt it will with the Trump administration, but yeah. I kind of think they should be regulated at this point, leaking that much data.
And if it's affecting U.S. policy, I mean,
That's
then
a big problem.
It's a problem.
Yeah. So you know what else is a problem? Jetpacks. Wait, hoverboard backpacks. That's a jetpack, isn't it?
No.
What?
See, a jetpack, it's kind of implied that you'll
it doesn't
actually...
have a jet.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
a jetpack, you'll be able to
it's just
fly into the air. This
just
is
a
this is more like an
No, you need
assisted
to-
jump.
Yeah, you need to see that with a blade above your head. Awesome.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah, you're basically wearing a backpack with a drone coming out the top
Wait,
above
it's
your head.
So cool.
This is just like Inspector Gadget's
it is.
helicopter blade.
Go Gadget helicopter.
Yes, it is.
And it'll probably work just as well.
Does it have the handles that come out too? So you
No.
go
The
like this with your arms up?
that they've got in the little the animated GIF here is great. So I'm sure that it's weight rated for people like me and you, Tony.
Yeah, right.
I will be able to jump very, very high.
I'm gonna put like 3 of these on top of each other, and then maybe I can use it.
This video doesn't even make any sense. He's levitating up to water a tree that's sideways, and he's pouring the water onto the leaf. It's not even getting into the
Because
roots.
all the trees into the future will be slanted
This
and
is-
No,
10
why
feet
is
in the air.
How did the tree fall out of the bucket? What is going on in this picture?
don't
What are
get
those
it.
balls?
Those are apples, I think.
There's a GIF lower. There's a GIF that shows this guy like jumping over stairs and making a slam dunk and stuff like that.
Yes.
What in...
Oh, yes.
This looks like a Buster Keaton movie.
It's awesome.
Impress all your friends with all the slam dunks you'll be able to make.
So it's from a team from the University of Tokyo. They're calling it Lunavity
Yeah.
or Lunavity,
That makes sense.
Please.
but it was debuted at South by Southwest. There's not a functioning prototype yet,
Oh, you don't say.
They
but
don't even have a functioning. They don't even have a functioning video yet.
if this thing came out 5 years from now and cost me $300 and allowed me to jump 10 feet into the air, I'd do it.
$300. Put another zero on the
Oh
end
yeah,
of that.
probably.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm dreaming here, just
That's
like
true.
the creators of this. They're
Fair
dreaming.
enough. Fair enough. Oh my gosh. All right. Where do you go from that? Let's talk about some other hardware that's real now. The
Hey, that's real.
Raspberry Pi 3 is getting a little upgrade.
Yay.
This is pretty cool. It's not a huge upgrade, but as a result, they're not charging any more for it or anything. But you're the CPU in there is getting an upgrade to a faster CPU with the same amount of cores, and it is also getting I believe a RAM upgrade as well.
I think a Bluetooth upgrade
Bluetooth upgrade built
And-
onto the board, so you don't have to buy an adapter anymore.
Nice.
and Wi-Fi.
And Wi-Fi, exactly.
Built straight onto the board now.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
that's
I'm sure
cool.
it's just like the chips they were using are no longer available.
Right.
Yeah, probably.
So whatever Chinese plant they could get these ones from.
So your favorite tiny computer has been updated.
And
Yay.
same price, so it's the 3B Plus now.
Oh, that's cool that they kept the price the same.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The other thing that's actually kind of cool but super non-applicable to anyone outside of the enterprise sector is they can be powered with PoE.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That's really cool. I have
Power over Ethernet.
Yeah.
I have a couple of those switches since I run like APs, Ubiquity APs at my house.
So yeah, you
I-
could use that for.
That's cool.
Or wait, are the old ones?
No, the old ones don't do
Oh,
power.
You
I'm
had
gonna
to have
try
the
this.
power brick.
Because I've got Google Fiber and that router is power over
Yeah.
is PoE.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And I've been using it as my server,
Uh huh.
just connected to a big old fat hard drive. So
Nice. So yeah, you should with this you should be able to power it all just over
to
your
do
Ethernet
to
cable.
do things,
Yeah.
right? What do you do with a Raspberry Pi? That's a question for everybody, even
Yeah.
our listeners. What do you do
I've
with
got
a Raspberry
one
Pi?
which I run emulators on. I've got one which I use as my home server for file storage
Oh,
Okay.
for all my files,
Yes.
Files, things,
and it can serve
Data.
them to me,
data,
just bits and bytes and.
Plex.
I've always had aspirations to do something with the Raspberry Pi, but never got around to it.
That's how I feel.
I'm
I'd-
one of those guys.
I'd love to have a project with it someday, but I just can't think of anything.
A friend of ours, Conrad, was telling me that he's looking into a project where you use one and a 7-inch touchscreen, I think, to make a portable Android Auto setup that you can just plug into put on the dashboard on your car, and have an auxiliary cable going to your speakers.
That sounds cool, but how kludgy would that be? Exposed circuitry in your car. I wonder how it would do with.
It would make you feel like you're in the DeLorean. It's awesome.
Now that you can 3D print like cases, like
Yeah.
there's a whole Instructables, like there's a whole
Yeah,
place
Jarron.
to print
Quit
3D
being-
print
quit being a
3D
downer.
print stuff.
I wonder how well it would do in extreme temperatures, because
That's a
cars really need to be careful with that.
That's a good question. But still kind of a neat idea that you could take an older car and update it with Android Auto with one of these.
Well, plus now that you have this new one that has that Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi integrated, you don't
Yeah.
have these like USB keys
That's
hanging
true.
off the side, so it would look way more elegant.
All you would-
Jarron.
all you would need is the power cable and the auxiliary
Yeah.
going to your sound.
Just get a PoE switch for your car or something. I
Yeah.
bet that'll be a thing. What if they like? What if
What?
that'll be the new thing? They'll have PoE
Car Ethernet,
hmm Ethernet.
and just have like
Car
a really
Ethernet?
really long cable wound
Here's
up
the
at your
thing,
house.
Yeah,
Like
You're
a-
also going to need an amplifier.
yeah. I mean, it's a way. Of,
Yeah.
Let's get a letter going to Elon.
Yeah, make
Yeah.
him in charge. Like,
Yeah.
see if he'll do it.
He seems to do those things.
You can probably get a head unit that does Android Auto for less.
Yeah.
would be
Then like
fun.
buying all the components and
But it's not DIY, dude.
I know.
So
Takes the cool factor out. Also, so Xiaomi is bringing out their new Xiaomi. I don't know how to say it.
I think it's Xiaomi.
Xiaomi.
I agree with Egg.
All right, Xiaomi is bringing out the big guns with their new flagship phone this year.
Yeah, right.
This is off. Taking a screenshot off the sticker they're putting on the box for these devices.
8 gigs of RAM.
8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigabytes of not hard drive. I guess it's just ROM, flash storage.
Is this their bezel-less phone?
Yeah, this is going to be their bezel-less, and the Snapdragon 845.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So that is, so far, that will be the specs to beat on the Android side.
I doubt their camera would be that great in their
And they're just like,
that will be
please-
the the weak point for sure.
please buy our phones. That's what they want. There's been a big backlash against foreign.
Only in the U.S.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
guys clean up
Yeah,
in
I'm
China
sure.
and Europe.
Yeah,
Oh man, they
bigger markets too, aren't they? Aren't
No,
is U.S. the biggest market?
China
Big
might be
market.
bigger,
Right.
but Europe, no way.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's something to keep an eye on. And this is I would say this is like 95% confirmed that this is going to be the specs for.
Are there
that,
any
so.
U.S. carriers that carry Xiaomi phones?
I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, you
Probably
could get it
not.
unlocked, of course.
Yeah, they put in what is it?
So it'll remain a niche
In the
thing,
U.S.
yeah.
for sure. Yeah, and Xiaomi, however you say it, they include all the different LTE bands on
Yeah.
there, so you can go to T-Mobile or AT&T or whatever.
But does it have 5G?
Oh no, definitely doesn't have 5G. 5G, man, that's like
I'm not as excited for that as I was for LTE.
the only thing that
No.
would make me super excited for 5G is if instead of faster speed would be better coverage.
Yeah, better coverage, more consistency.
No, from what I hear is it's less range, so they need more towers.
That's the worst.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I mean,
but
faster's
they
good,
have
but
smaller towers, and I could be totally wrong here because
I guess if they were going to do smaller towers and like pay people to just put them on their houses or something,
yeah,
I'd be down with that. with
Crowdsourcing.
better coverage.
Owen would totally do that.
I would do that.
I would.
Yeah, if they're like,
Wow.
hey, we'll knock off $30 of your bill if you become a radio.
My HOA probably wouldn't let me do it.
Yeah,
Jerks.
there's already internet service providers that do that.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, 5G. I think they're headed that. I think they're taking that in the wrong direction, if you ask me. But whatever. Okay, Jarron, you remember that micro LED glorious panel from Samsung? At
It was
CES?
glorious.
So it looks like that tech is gaining a little more traction.
that's crazy to me that because we were basically like, who would ever use this when we talked about it? But here it is showing up.
Apple
Yeah.
is investing heavily.
This is
into it.
interesting because they debuted it on a massive screen, meaning the pixels weren't that small.
Yeah.
If Apple is doing it and intending to use it in their watch, they have to shrink those pixels so much smaller than what we saw from Samsung.
Almost exponentially small.
Yeah.
Like way, way, way tiny.
And I'd be curious what the power drop. They're saying that it'll be less power, which kind of surprises me,
Than an OLED
than an OLED.
or AMOLED.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. It's a rumor at this point that Apple is investing in a micro LED. We'll see what happens.
And Apple has a history of investing in technologies, testing them out, and if they don't go anywhere, they don't care. They got enough money.
Yeah, that is true. But from what I read, it said they were about to scrap it last year. But this year, their engineers made some big breakthroughs so that they're going to keep pushing forward on it. So it's still probably 3+ years out.
Yeah.
So I mean, don't hold your breath, but it could be cool because micro LED stuff has some serious advantages over OLED. You still get the perfect black levels, but there's no burn-in,
And the brightness is insane.
and the brightness is insane. You're right.
Plus they need a reason to justify charging you $2,000 for the next iPhone instead of
Micro
$1,000.
LED edition.
Yeah, they're like,
2,000.
look at this.
So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Sad news in the world of technology and science. Stephen Hawking passed away at the age of 76, which that in and of itself is a minor miracle.
He had ALS.
ALS.
yeah, wasn't he only supposed to live like 2 years after
Yeah.
he was diagnosed?
He was diagnosed at the age of like 24, I think.
Yeah, like 23, 24, something like that.
and they said you got 2 years to live.
50 years later, 55 years later, he gives him the bird and walks off.
Yep.
That's cool.
So good for him. I mean, that's an amazing story in and of itself. But yeah, I mean, we're talking about the guy responsible for a whole lot of the theories that we
currently
ascribed to as far as
the whole
theoretical physics,
black
and,
hole.
yeah, things like that.
The science of black holes is all of him. Like started.
He was anti-black hole for a long time
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
So, did you have any theories on where Elon Musk came from?
No, nobody can think.
No alien.
Elon
But
Musk, he came from Mars. That's why he's trying to get back there.
yeah, I mean they're
That
both
makes a lot of sense.
they're both very anti-AI guys. I mean,
Yeah.
they were in an anti-AI club, so they think it's the end of the world.
Maybe Stephen Hawking is Elon Musk's child.
Oh,
Some major time travel going on here.
Or maybe Elon Musk is Stephen Hawking's dad.
whoa!
Mind blown.
Time travel, people.
So anyway, rest in peace, Mr. Hawking. Brilliant mind, and he will be missed. Let's see. All right, let's move on to we got some Thrifty 50 reviews. I've been playing around with the Thrifty 50 from February, and it was two smart plugs, one from Eufy and one from TP-Link. The Eufy smart plugs I got 2 for $33, and the TP-Link was $25 for 1. Now I believe the 2 for $33 was on sale, but even not on sale, they're a good $10 cheaper, I believe, than the TP-Link ones. Now, I gotta say, I've been using both of them now for a couple of weeks, and I honestly I was sure that the TP-Link one would be better because it costs more money. I was wrong. The TP-Link one, the TP-Link versus the Eufy is interesting because they're supposed to do all the same stuff, but the differences come in through the apps. The app for TP-Link is so bare bones.
Yeah.
They tried to do a thing with all of their smart devices rolled into one app, and so when you use it for the smart plugs, all you get is runtime. All it does is tell you how long the devices, how long the smart plug's been up, and allows you to turn it off and turn it back on, and you can do a few scheduling.
Not even like wattage usage. Like
not even a bit.
Wow.
Now with the Eufy one, you get all of that, plus you get a daily average, a weekly average, a monthly average.
That's cool.
Can you set schedules?
You can set schedules as well. I believe they are both Alexa enabled.
What about Google Home?
What about HomeKit?
I doubt
I'd have
HomeKit.
to check. I'm really sure the Eufy does not have either of those. I think TP-Link might have Google enabled. I'd have to check. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. I didn't look into those because I don't have either of those, so I was just like, meh.
Yeah, I'm rocking HomeKit right now.
Yeah.
We'll see if it lasts.
Me as well.
Yeah.
Apple.
I've got a 1920s house with really old wiring, so like a lot of things I can't, like the switches, I can't use
You can't use the smart
because
switches.
it needs a neutral wire.
Right.
Now there's ones that I can get for HomeKit, but they require an additional hub.
Right.
So right now I've got.
The Wemo?
I think that might be it. Yeah.
I have some Wemo switches.
That's what I'm a big fan of those.
I don't like the Wemo. Their app is horrible.
Yeah, their app is a lot like Tony was describing the TP-Link, just kind of bare minimum. I don't know, man. How do you? So do you control both those from separate apps? You can't.
Separate apps.
Yeah. That's what I've been afraid. So I have I have
that's annoying.
Wemos.
Yeah.
See, I have Wemos, and I'm like, I've already kind of invested in a few of those, so I don't want to like switch over to another one. So I just keep buying Wemos, even though I really don't like the app.
Yeah.
So.
And that's the problem right now with these ecosystems. These devices are so nascent that nobody's come to any sort of like conclusion on who's the one to go with. But the other cool thing about the Eufy one is it gives you the average day, month, week, and you can also program in how much your electricity costs, and it will tell you what your bill is just for that
cool.
device. So that's kind of cool as well.
That's excellent for mining
Yeah.
equipment. You would think.
Yeah.
I have one of those as well. It's not Eufy though. It's Chinese. Remember I made
Oh,
it?
yeah.
So this is the one I made that looked very, very sketchy. And
It looked.
you create a login and they save the password in plain text on the in the app to your Wi-Fi password.
Oh.
So I'm not super terrified that they're gonna come stand outside my house, but I did start using that one, and it has been nice to see the actual usage for my equipment.
So the Eufy supports Google Assistant, but not HomeKit.
Oh.
Okay. And the so let me give you the model numbers here that I got.
Now I'm curious, what do you plug into those?
So I have the two UFIs. I have my miner plugged into one, and the other one I have. My wife has a little salon area in our basement, and she does like nose waxing and eyebrow waxing and stuff like that. And I put her wax pots on it, so that way, if she's at work and she has a client or a friend or whoever coming over after work, she can get on an hour before she comes home and just turn it on.
That sounds really practical.
Yeah, and have the wax ready to go.
It's like I haven't felt the need for any of the smart plugs right now.
Right. And so that actually has been really good for her. And it's been running quite well. I actually got on today on the app, and I saw that it was turned on, and I was like, did you turn the wax pots on today before you went to work? No. And I look at the history. They've been on for like 4 days. I was like, I'm going to turn them off. So that was a little frustrating, but I had the power to turn them off at work. I was at work, on my phone, turned them off.
So here's the only I don't know, and maybe you could try this. Can you control multiple sites remotely?
That's a good question.
So I thought that I was going to be able to do that with Wemo. I bought a couple light switches. I have my mining rig in a couple places, like not in my house, and I thought I want to control these in case it crashes remotely. I want to be able to turn it off, and you cannot enable remote access for more than one location, more than one Wi-Fi.
With the iDevices switch is what I have. You can have multiple homes.
That makes me want to switch so bad.
Pun intended.
Hey-o. So the TP-Link one is called the Casa Smart Wi-Fi Plug by TP-Link, and they currently go for $20. They've come down in price a little bit, $22, and Alexa and Google Assistant. And then the Eufy one is just called a Eufy Smart Plug. No hub required, blah, blah, blah. Alexa and Google Assistant, like Jarron said. They are currently unavailable. I'm wondering, so there's a newer model of this. And that's good because the newer model is shaped much easier so you can fit 2 on one plug. You couldn't do that before on the other one. You can only fit 1 per wall plug. And this is $22.99, so it's the same price as the TP-Link. Okay, so all of that being said, I would say, honestly, still go for the Eufy. Even though TP-Link might be more of a name brand you might recognize.
No, it's a name brand, but it's a cheap name brand.
That's true.
Plus, but the functionality of seeing the electrical stuff, like the cost and the usage, it's cool.
Totally worth it, I think.
And Eufy is backed by Anchor, which
Eufy
is also a name brand.
Eufy's owned by Anchor, which owns a couple other smaller properties like Zolo and things like that. But so my money is on the Eufy Smart Plug Mini. It's good stuff. All right, Owen, you had a Thrifty 50 you need to review as well.
Yeah,
This is for March.
March. This one's for March. So I was having a hard time. I crowdsourced my friends, who were you guys only, and
I made the list.
Hey,
and you guys there was a deal going on for an Android Wear smartwatch.
So this deal I've actually seen come up a couple times. So if you keep your eye out, listeners, you might be able to find this for between $50 or $60.
Yeah, it was a little bit north of 50. There's about $58 or $60 or something like that. Somewhere in that range.
It's the Verizon Wear 24.
So yeah, it is the Verizon Wear 24. Now, I bought this impulsively because I was really like, I couldn't decide. I'd been gadget surfing for an hour and a half, and I'm like, well, what do I want to get? What's Thrifty 50? And I couldn't think of anything. So I when that came up, when you guys suggested, I just was like, yeah, that's the one. Let's do it. Let's go. And it's Verizon, and I'm an AT&T account holder, not Verizon. Now, the only thing that has really been annoying with that is the ability to use the watch itself to make SIM-related requests. So
communicate directly with cellular network.
Yeah, I can't call out. I can't text out. But
which I think is kind of unnecessary for smartwatches anyway.
For real.
Yeah, and I found that to be the same thing. That was just one of the things as I was setting it up. But I have been using it for about 2 weeks now, 2.5 weeks, and I'm going to tell you, this has reduced my phone anxiety by like 100%.
Yeah.
Because I use my phone for work, and I'm the IT guy, and I'm always on call, and I'm always like, where's my phone? I got to check to see if I have messages, and all the messages ding the same or close, and I'm like, oh, crap, what was that? And I have to go check it. Now I can just look at my watch and not important, spam call or whatever. And I'll tell you what, this is real. I did not give a lot of stock to smartwear in general. because I was like, whatever, I'll just use my phone. How much extra effort can it be? But this has been fantastic, and specifically this one, the Wear 24. It's got some cool watch faces. It's pretty run-of-the-mill Android Wear.
Uses Wear 2.0, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I've liked it a lot, but I have nothing to compare it to as far as other Android watches go, because it's the first one I've ever interacted with. But well worth it in my opinion. The battery life's been great. I actually can go over a full day on one charge, so that's been nice. I tested that out, and then all the other features, it just gets push notifications from your phone. Once I turned off the cellular radio, like per Jarron's suggestion,
Yeah, if you're not using it.
battery life improved a lot because it wasn't constantly searching for a network. So
It is an old smartwatch, so
it is.
you're getting it because it's kind of old.
Yep.
And that's why it's that price.
Exactly.
But Wear really hasn't gone anywhere in the last couple of years.
Didn't
someone
Google
wants to
just rebrand Wear to something else?
Let's call it Wear OS now.
Yeah, Wear OS. Okay.
But if someone wants to experiment and say, do I want, before spending, $300-$400,
Yep.
Yeah.
it's a good trial.
Yeah, I really like it. It's got a silicone band, black metal watch face. It's been really great. The LED's bright. I mean, it's pretty
Yeah, it's
good.
definitely readable.
So,
Would it fit on Jarron or lady wrists?
yeah, I think so.
It would look
What-
really big. That thing's big.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would look big
That
on,
would
on
look
lady wrists.
Yeah.
Monstrous on your arm, Jarron.
yeah. But that's a
Notice
that's a,
I said arm and not wrist.
that's a sign of stature now. Big watches
It
are
would look
are a
monstrous
stature
on
thing.
my bicep.
Yep.
Yeah, you could. Oh yeah, it could be like a workout thing for you. You could wear it up higher. There you go. Lemons,
Yep.
Lemonade out of lemons, Jarron.
All right. Let's see. Who put this article on here about the 360 controller
Oh, I did
to control yeah, what's that about?
So the U.S. Navy, the Colorado, their submarine.
That's a state, not a submarine.
It's the USS Colorado. It's a submarine.
Whatever.
Okay. Maybe that's how we're fooling everybody because they're like, can't be a real thing. Anyway, it's a state. Yeah, they got a new. I think it was Lockheed Martin. I don't know. I have to read. But anyway, somebody.
Yeah, Lockheed.
Yeah, it was. They created a periscope for this submarine, and the device that they to move this around. It's a digital periscope, right? Was clunky and like a joystick and like
Cost $38,000.
$38,000 per controller. What? And they were like, "What if we just use a Xbox controller?"
What? That doesn't cost $38,000. No way.
Lockheed Martin's like, "Dang it, they found out." And
It's
so
just
for
USB.
so for 30 yeah, so for, exactly, Larry, it's just USB. So for $30 now, they did this. I think from the article, it sounded like they did that as the pilot. They wanted to just test out the main system without the controllers at first
Because it was probably buggy.
Yeah, and so they were like, but they found that when they gave the soldiers and the operators this Xbox 360 controller, they were able to manage and figure out.
Yeah, they're used to that.
Yeah, it was just the
familiar user interface.
yeah,
exactly.
and they were able to manage it and figure out. And the military went, let's just do that full time.
And what are they going to do with their hundreds of thousands of dollars of extra budget?
I'm hoping they give it to somebody.
They'll use it.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
they'll find someplace. But yeah,
They'll put some screen doors on that submarine.
isn't that crazy though? They're using Xbox 360 controllers for
Well,
that.
I
It's
remember.
a perfectly functional controller.
Yeah, it's great. I remember seeing a few years ago, probably 5-6 years ago, maybe a little bit more than that. The Army was using Xbox 360 controllers to pilot ground bomb drones or bomb disposal units. They'd use it to drive up and dispose of the bomb, etc., with a Xbox controller. So I mean, it makes sense.
It's
They used it in Men in Black 2 to drive the car. Remember? That was a PlayStation controller.
No.
You don't remember that
I
scene?
don't remember that.
When
I don't remember Men in Black 2.
they're cruising along and they need to hit the red button to go really fast.
Yeah.
And he hits the red button and the steering wheel slides away and a PS2 controller slides out. And Tommy Lee Jones's character Kay is like, "What is this?" And of course, Agent Smith's like, not Smith, Will Smith, Agent J.
yeah.
He's like, "Had you ever played a Game Boy before? Come on."
Of course, it was a PlayStation controller because that movie was made by Sony.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I
Yeah.
never thought about that. All right, let's see. Nest has got some new hardware coming out.
I'm excited for this, sort of.
Yeah, who put this up?
I'm totally excited for this.
I put this up
All right.
because I have a multi-level house, so we've got the zigzag stairs that go all sorts of ways, and we constantly play. I have a Nest, and we constantly play the "What room are we in?" Game because I don't have two furnaces.
You know how I got around that?
How?
I got an Ecobee, which you can buy remote sensors for.
Yeah.
Stick it out of the room.
Ecobee really
that's
beat them
what.
to market.
So that's what Nest is doing now, and they're pretty affordable. I mean, they're $39 for one, or you can get a 3-pack for $100. Save
So
yourself.
here's the thing about the Ecobee ones. I can use those sensors for other HomeKit functions.
I wonder if that's
Like what? Like I mean, like what would you put?
It's
it
got a
for?
motion sensor on it.
What?
So everything, come
Yeah,
in the room, turn on the light.
The Nest doesn't have a motion sensor on this
Oh,
extra
really?
sensor, so the
Oh.
Ecobee is still better because
Oh,
it'll
man.
detect when you're in the room and it'll adjust the thermostat for
Right.
what room you're in.
That's cool.
But the Nest, it doesn't do
I'm
that.
surprised they didn't do that, seeing how Ecobee beat them like this, and now they're rolling out their security system and their doorbell
Dude,
system.
Nest has just been doing nothing for the past 5 years.
they have really been resting on their laurels.
Yeah.
for
So,
sure.
well, anyway, these little pods, you can throw them in your room if you want the rest of your house to cook while you're downstairs. You can have one of these downstairs, and it will.
That's the,
I mean, there's
That's
only
what I was
one.
gonna bring
There's
up.
only one furnace.
Exactly.
It's not
Yeah.
closing vents for you anywhere else. It's not doing any type of redirect. So it's just gonna cook upstairs. It'll be like
yeah.
because like our basement area, our living room is like typically 3 degrees or 4 degrees cooler than our upstairs.
See, an old house like mine, I need smart vents.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
where I'm
not
at.
just
Where
the
I'm like,
thermostat.
Now those
Yeah.
exist, right?
I've seen some, but they're expensive systems. They're not.
I wonder how reliable they
Yeah.
are.
so they
Well, they're
the ones I've
really
seen sit on
reliable.
top of the vent. They call them
How do they
Well,
get power?
I don't know. That's a good idea.
Just manually close your vents until you find an equilibrium.
that's
And
a lot.
just leave them closed.
It's too much
That's
work.
what we do.
That sounds really low tech.
I moved.
You're off the
I
podcast.
have to adjust them though if I'm in my front room or my back room. Front room,
Yep.
back room.
Yeah.
No, like if there's 3 vents in a room and it gets too hot, close 2 of the vents.
Oh yeah, no, we don't live in that cool of a house, dude.
Yeah.
One vent per room, maybe.
Yeah.
And if it was a remodel, then you get a half a vent that they jacked into the system somewhere. See, we didn't all build our houses, Jarron. We did. Only you.
Hang your head
My,
in shame for
my
being.
house was built in 1926.
That's cool.
They weren't thinking about extra vents in rooms
no.
then?
Have you found any dead bodies?
No, but I do know where the coal chute is.
You have a coal
Are there any
chute?
dead bodies in the
the-
coal
the-
chute?
The door used to be there, and they put in a window.
See, I would always check those houses for like treasure. That's like one of my dreams. It's the only thing. My wife loves the old architecture of those old homes, and she's like, "Wouldn't you love to live down in that neighborhood?" I'm like, "Absolutely not."
Well, that's the problem with
old pipes, no ground wire. They have aluminum wiring instead of copper. A lot of times, lattice work instead of sheetrock. Like it's a nightmare. And
Yep.
she's like, "But the architecture,
I've got some really nice built-ins in my living
it
room.
looks great when
the
you
old houses have great built-ins.
if you rip stuff
now
out and you
antique
remodel,
wood.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the only thing that keeps me going is the lotto of maybe remodeling
the
and having like
slight-
gold coins fall out of the walls.
Yeah.
Like that's
Well,
the only thing keeping
That's
me
the
going.
problem with Utah. I mean, the Mormons, they didn't take anything when they came out
Yeah,
west. So
dang it.
we have no treasures anywhere.
Yeah.
You might find
Thanks.
some old Deseret newspapers.
Well, that's the last thing that's the last thing I needed, Jarron. I'll never move into one of those houses now. The dream is dead.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to tell my wife, like, Jarron ruined it for you. I'll never move into one of those now.
All right. Let's see. Jarron, I think it's time to review your HomePod. Yeah! Are you excited about this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I must say, if this product fits your very, very, very specific needs, it's a great product.
What needs would those be?
So let me go back to my Google Home Mini discussion we had a few weeks ago.
That didn't turn out good. You didn't like that.
No, it didn't. I was like this close, and if you can't see my hand, it's 2 fingers close together, to selling it.
Well, they're touching.
Yes, I was so close to selling it, and then I read an article on The Verge saying how you can use your Google Home Mini as a white noise machine.
Oh.
So you just say, "Hey Google, play ocean sounds, or play white noise, or play rain sounds, or something like
And
that."
it sounds decent?
It sounds really
Just
good,
the right, frequency.
and it sounds like probably better than any white noise machine you can buy for that price.
Jeez.
Since I got it for $30. And so we put it up in the bedroom instead of in the kitchen, which we never used it in the kitchen. And since then, we use it every day.
That is such a niche,
I know. And that's what I think smart speakers are, that you have to fulfill a niche or else they're completely useless.
Sure.
And so we use that to turn on our bedroom lights, listen to white noise, and that's it. Anything else, we don't do anything with it.
So it is as a 2 2 usage device
Yeah.
for $30, but you quite enjoy the usage that it provides.
Yep. Enter the HomePod. What we wanted was a speaker that sounded great, that played music when we asked it to. And since I have an Apple Music subscription, which I really, really do like the service, this is pretty much the only smart speaker you can buy to fit that.
Yep.
And
Not pretty much. Definitely is.
Yeah, is.
Is the word.
Yep. And so we use the HomePod to turn lights on and off through HomeKit and to listen to music. And with those 2 functions that we use it for and nothing else, it's beautiful.
We are living in the
Can
future.
it function as a HomePod hub? Not
HomeKit?
HomeKit hub. I think it can.
Because I'm using my iPad right now, and sometimes I might like to take it somewhere.
That iPad is stationary. Eh?
It is.
Yes, HomePod can replace an Apple TV or iPad as a HomeKit
Okay,
hub.
great.
Yeah, I have an Apple TV already, so I didn't have to worry about that. So the sound quality, it's great. Just keep in mind it still is just a speaker, one speaker, so don't expect like fully immersive 3D sound.
No, it doesn't have like a whole series of speakers around it.
It does, but it's still in one location and
Yeah.
you're like 5 feet away from it, so it's not like sounds coming behind you or anything like that. But the clarity is great. The bass is good. It's probably the best it can be for a speaker of that size. It's not going to shake you, but it's definitely there and you can hear it. Sound quality is great, like I said. And the crazy thing is, so I have my home layout. I have a kitchen, dining room, family room, all in one big giant room. So I don't have like any hallway. So it's a pretty long, big room. And it's in the kitchen. And so I was lying on our couch, staring at the TV, like probably 20, 25 feet away.
I hope you were watching the TV. Like, was there something on?
No.
You're just staring at the TV.
This is when I was sick with the stomach flu, so
Okay.
I didn't want to do anything. Anyway, I spoke in a normal voice, not raising my voice at all. I fully expected my phone to pick it up, but the HomePod picked it up from like 30 feet away using a normal voice.
Nice.
Yeah, the microphone in there is crazy, and like when the music's full blast, it can still hear you talking in a normal voice. That part's really cool. So I was expecting some comment.
I'm
Yeah.
waiting for more coolness.
So for us, it's great. I'd give it an 8.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
If you do not use Apple Music, I would not buy it. I would probably get a Sonos One because Sonos One can integrate with Spotify, which a lot of people use, or Amazon Music.
Does
And
Sonos support Google Music?
I don't think it does.
No.
Well, it might if you use the app on your phone, but you can't talk to it and say.
Oh, yeah.
And the main point is being able to talk to it,
Right.
so you don't have to pull out your phone because it decreases a step. So I would recommend the Sonos One if you don't have Apple Music. You'll get largely the same benefit, and it uses Alexa, which is a lot better than Siri,
Everything's a lot better than Siri.
from what I hear.
But no smart like HomeKit integration where you can't turn lights on and off, right?
You can with Alexa.
Oh yeah,
If it
that's
had,
true.
yeah, that's true.
If it has Alexa.
So are you going to revise your Google Home Mini score? Do you remember what you gave it?
I don't remember what I gave it.
I don't either. We'll say
It's
you gave
just probably like a 4
We'll say you
or
gave
something.
it a 5.
I'd give it a 7.5 now,
Oh, wow.
since I found a use for
This
it.
is-
You found its niche.
Yeah.
That's a 50% increase.
Uh-huh.
Dang.
So if you have Apple Music, go for it. I like it. I would not pay full price though. I paid $270. Don't
Yeah.
pay $350. I don't think it's worth $350.
You got in on that eBay deal they had
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago.
eBay was having
20% off anything on eBay.
I did
It
that
was
too.
crazy.
What did you get on?
I got the Xbox One X.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you got.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
So another plug for our deal shopping: 20% off coupon on eBay. Normally it's 15% off that they do every month, but this time it's 20% off, and it applies to anything on eBay. So I picked up on it.
I didn't buy anything.
It was cool.
I
I used
either.
my cryptocurrency for it, which made me
Hey,
feel
there you
even more
go.
special.
That's like an Xbox for free.
Yeah, it was cool.
Kind of. All right, let's see. Let's talk about ISPs for a minute because they are very important despite what anyone might tell you and make you try to believe.
Oh, is this about the
The,
FCC net neutrality
Showing
stuff?
showing their true colors.
Yeah, so all of these ISPs were like, no, Gadget, don't tear down net neutrality. The people don't want it, and we want the people. Seriously, don't. Please do.
Yeah, token resistance.
And
basically.
now there have been over a dozen lawsuits filed against the repeal of the FCC controls regarding net neutrality, and they've all been combined into one big lawsuit, and now every ISP has signed up against that to stand as resistance to these lawsuits. So every ISP basically out there has, or at least that's what the article says, because a few of the really big backers and subsidiaries of ISPs have come out to defend HYPE's rolling back of the net neutrality regulations.
Oh my gosh.
And so it kind of shows, like, yeah, they've had some time to think about it. The people have cooled down. The issue has really cooled off. I mean, as far as the news cycle goes, it's not in the news like it was.
Yeah.
It's still a very hot issue. There's lots of people out there still talking about it, but it's not in the main news cycle, which is the sheep are the. I'm not calling you a sheep if you're a sheep. I'm sorry if you don't know that you are, then you probably are. But but the people out there that listen to mass news and use that to make their very serious decisions are the people that make policy, because they're the masses. And so once it falls out of the news cycle, it usually loses ground rather quickly. And but this article is actually pretty crazy to see these lawsuits that some states are just taking into their own hands and being like, our laws, our state laws supersede the FCC's rules. California's one.
Yep.
I believe Washington is another one that's doing it, where they're just basically reinstating the rules locally on their own. But it's kind of like this whole debate between like legally selling marijuana, where it's like the states are like, it's fine, and the federal government's like, if we ever catch you though, you're in trouble, but we'll never look. Anyway.
So what do we support? Do we support federal or do we support state?
I want it to still be federal. I think that it should be. I think the federal government should realize that internet and ISPs and the ability to access information unrestricted and free like that is an infrastructure. Is a full on needed, just like the telecom, just like the ability to have a phone, make phone calls is
or have
critical
electricity,
infrastructure, which is what,
or running water,
which is what Title II kind of guarantees. And when they pulled it out of the Title II regulations is when he repealed that
Water neutrality.
Yeah,
I vote for water neutrality.
If you use water to bake pasta, it's going to cost you more.
What?
So anyway, it's this article, we'll link it in the show notes, but the article is it's just more information. I just like to keep it on the top of people's minds that the fight's still real if you're interested and you want to do some research. But there's quite a few big lawsuits going on trying to push that, and this is just kind of an interesting note to see all the ISPs stand up and be like, we actually want it. We know we said we didn't, but there's so much money to be made if we don't have it that
the bottom line is the king.
And they're saying the ISPs make a very strange argument that if they could charge this extra money, or if these repeals are gone, then we'll have money to invest in new infrastructure. So you guys now will be able to send cable out to these rural areas, and we'll upgrade all the cable that's existing in cities that sucks. And
yeah, right.
Never.
Well, we'll see if they do. It hasn't happened yet.
I believe capitalism says that it won't. But
we'll see. We can give the benefit of the doubt.
Hey, devil's advocate, get the heck out of here.
I mean, I will say if they did it, then more power to them. But I feel like they'll just be like, we did it, but now we have to charge you more because we did it.
I'll tell you, I would love to eat my words on that.
Me too.
I would love to eat.
I'm just hedging.
Maybe HYPE's whole idea is to repeal net neutrality, have them invest in their network, then reinstate it.
Bam!
And trick them.
That sounds far too intelligent.
Yeah.
That's a good point, and it makes me hate him just a fraction of a bit less. But
it's not even true. You should still hate him the same amount you did before.
No, just because there's a slight chance that could happen, or somebody that could pose as him and make that happen. Something. But
someone to assume his identity.
Yeah, that's what we need.
We need somebody that looks like him to contact us immediately.
Yeah. Somebody who can do stupid videos. About cat videos.
And have a very punchable face.
Yep, that too. Anyway, read the article. It's not too long, but it's just kind of funny to see all the ISPs really kind of show where their loyalties lie.
Oh yeah.
Despite you saw
what they said
when it was in the news. Yeah, when it was in the news cycle, they were like, "Oh no, we don't want this. The people don't want this." They're signing letters saying, "Please, HYPE, stop! Don't do this." The people, but now. No, not so much.
So I've been jumping around this list trying to land on on an article that Egg put in there. Did you put any in there?
Right at the very bottom.
Okay, let's do that one.
Yeah.
The time for VR?
Yeah.
All right. It's your turn. What do we got here?
Vive announced is now taking pre-orders for their new Pro headset.
Ah, yes.
Oh, that looks cool.
I have looked into
$799 without sensors or controllers, just by itself.
It's kinda pricey.
It is pricey.
But they dropped the price of their main headset by $100.
Yeah.
That's the first gen. They only dropped 100.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'll bet it goes down
I
further.
would pay $100 extra for the next gen to be future proofed a little bit.
Well, it didn't start at $7.99, so
Oh.
now it's $6.99.
Yeah.
It was like $6.99 before, and now it's, or is it $5.99 before, and now it's $400. Anyway, it's a considerable difference between the new one and the old one.
Yeah.
So the
Now
new,
you can use the sensors and controllers
Yeah.
from the old one with the new one.
but the new one starting at $7.99. The upgrades you're getting are what you get: better headphones,
High resolution OLED screens.
right?
OLED was the previous one OLED.
No.
Yeah, so
They
that's a
weren't?
huge.
No.
That's a huge upgrade right
so
there.
that's HDR.
I don't know.
I don't think it's
78% increase in resolution
Yeah.
over the current one. Wow.
However, though, if I remember reading correctly, it doesn't expand the field of view. It just has a higher resolution. So you're still
Yeah.
looking at, what is it, like 110 degree field of view, something around there. So if you look with your eyes left to right, you're still going to see tunnel vision a little
Pretend
bit.
like you're wearing glasses with like little metal things on both sides,
Yes, pretend like
like
that.
a horse wearing the blinders.
Ah.
Yeah.
Now, do you think Oculus will drop their price to match?
Oculus dropped their price
I know,
already, didn't
again.
they? You think they'll drop it again?
what I'm hoping.
Maybe.
Do you think Oculus will actually release anything?
New stuff?
Eventually.
Man, they should, for the amount of money Facebook paid them.
That makes me happy that Facebook isn't making much from Oculus. I just hate Facebook so much.
I can tell. So I did. These were at CES this year, but I didn't get a chance to play with them. We did. We reported before on. We got a chance to look at the what is it? Pimax.
Pimax VR.
The Pimax ones have already a higher resolution than the Vive, but it's not OLED, and
it's not very comfortable.
and it's not very comfortable, and there's no included headphones. Oh, the other thing I saw about the new Vive is it has a new control box that has your inputs going into it and only a single cable coming from the box to the headset.
That's nice.
Nice.
So that's pretty nice instead of having three dangling.
And I think they also showed off, didn't they, the wireless
Yeah.
thing, which is another like $300 or who knows.
Right, yeah. So the Pimax has two versions. They have the 8K and the 4K. The 4K is basically 2K, I think, and the 8K is 4K, so it's not true 8K.
Gotcha.
But the thing about those that was really impressive is the field of view is really wide.
Yeah, and that's also why it's kind of uncomfortable because it's kind of unwieldy because it's so
yeah.
wide.
So I don't know. I am curious to see how the Vive does. Obviously, if it were me, my recommendation is wait for reviews.
All right.
See how it looks. But
So HTC sold their smartphone business to Google, right?
yeah.
So this is pretty much it for HTC, right? Are they doing anything else?
I don't think so. So I think this last phone that they have coming out, the M12, I think is their last HTC branded phone.
Kind of makes me sad. I hope their VR business does well.
Yeah, HTC was like the go-to for quite a while on Android stuff.
Yeah, I had an Evo.
Yeah. The Evo 4G
Loved
when it
that
came
phone.
out, and they were the first one to market with the G1, right? Was it HTC?
Yeah.
That was the
I
first
love that phone.
Android
man.
1.6 had a slider
Yep.
keyboard
Oh man, I love that phone.
from T-Mobile. So yeah, hopefully their VR stuff takes off and continues to improve. Because all I got to say, first of all, is kudos to them for having a new model finally, unlike Oculus, who's just kind of chilling with their weak sauce over there. And anyway, it's also a lot sleeker looking. Oh, it has cameras on the outside too, doesn't it?
Yeah, so does the Vive now.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's got two cameras in the front in the new one.
Okay. Yeah, so
I think the Vive already had one, and now it's got two.
So does that enable you to see actual real life while you're wearing it?
Yeah, but the main thing it's doing is it's tracking with the headset.
All right.
So
Now-
instead of having a sensor that's watching you,
does it
the
have
headset is tracking the room.
like the gyroscopic gyroscopic meters and stuff in it
I don't
too?
think so. I think it's just using the cameras.
Oh, okay. Accelerometers. That's the word I was looking for.
It might.
It probably does.
It's probably using a combination. Yeah.
So
It's cheaper overhead
It's
to use
basically
the
if
gyroscope.
you taking a
yeah.
what's that dumb motion sensor for the Xbox?
Connect.
Take Connect, strap it to your face.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So instead of watching you, it's watching the room.
Yeah.
Tracking that.
As long as you keep the latency down for that, I think it'd work just as good because it's the same idea. So, yeah,
I think the
hopefully
HTC is doing the same thing. So
it makes sense to go that route, if you ask me.
you're less extra hardware. So.
Exactly. I'm interested in this. I hope it's good. I don't know if I'm $800 interested in it though.
No.
Yeah,
No.
because you can get a really, really nice screen for $800.
Maybe on one of those eBay deals.
Yeah, 20% off.
Yeah.
There we go.
VR games are just so limited to me because you can't really do much motion or else you'll throw up. And if you can't do much motion, what is there? I mean, you can have some puzzle games and some stationary, don't move type of games.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I look at it from more of a perspective of wearing the monitor instead of sitting in front of the monitor. So if I could get VR games that all the movement and everything is from a controller in my hand, and I just have the view on my head, and I can use it to look around that way.
Which you can do now.
Camera control.
There's a few games that
Yeah.
support that right now,
Well,
right?
I think there's a app that just puts your desktop in the headset, and you just run a game on that.
I might have to look into that, maybe.
Yeah, I'd rather just buy a monitor.
But the thing is there's a few monitors coming out this year that, 4K HDR, 120 hertz. I mean, hard to say no to that. I think I'll put my $800 in that bin. But
Can I make a confession?
absolutely,
My main TV that I'm still using is plasma. It's not even 4K.
Are you kidding me?
720p.
whoa,
Wow.
And it's just because the colors of that thing look so good.
I have one of those too, a Sony or a Samsung.
Sounds
Yeah.
like you need to upgrade to an OLED.
That's the problem. I could not get any standard LCD LED screen. I've got to get OLED
Yeah,
because anything else will be a step back in picture.
The 55-inch has gone on sale for like $1,200.
Yeah, I'm
lately.
keeping my eye on it.
what's your price point where you'd be like, okay, I'll pull the trigger on a 55-inch OLED?
Probably about 1,000.
Around 1,000.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's going to come soon.
I think within the next year.
Yeah.
I think you'll have that. And it'll be interesting, too, to see how that competes with the ever-increasing quality of LCD and microLED over the next few years. But
I think microLED's a few years out still.
I think for
Yeah,
sure.
especially TV size.
Yeah,
It took OLED a while to get to that scale.
Yep, 3+ for sure, maybe 5. Let's see. Speaking of OLED, on the iPhone, this is a terrible segue. iPhone decrypting. Ha ha!
Oh yeah. So you remember the the whole there was a big debate about this back when there was the shooting in San Bernardino
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
about decrypting those iPhones that they had, right, to try.
Oh, right.
And they were trying to, and this, I actually applaud Apple in this case for standing up to them, because they were trying to force Apple to create a backdoor in their software that could be used only by the government, mind you,
Sure.
to get these only above board, always only.
Yep.
To
Only in these cases where
only
they need
Until someone else finds
until they wanted to, until they couldn't
Until
get
Russian troll find it.
until they couldn't get caught. Let's be honest. Until
Until
they could do it without getting caught,
Yeah.
then they were going to do this. Anyway, Apple said no. The community applauded. The security community, or the mobile and gadget world applauded, because that is a horrible idea to create a backdoor like that.
Right.
And they ended up paying a very high, exorbitant amount to have somebody else crack it. They wouldn't release how, because they didn't want. In fact,
some Israeli security firm.
So
Yeah.
somebody did, and Apple actually asked them, "Hey, tell us how you did it." And the FBI, appropriately gave them the bird. It was like, "We're not going to tell you anything." Well, now there's this company out called Grayshift, and
Gray key.
so Grayshift is the company. Gray Key is the device they made. So
What's gray box?
Gray box.
That's what it says on the notes.
Yeah. Does it say gray box?
Yeah. Is it Gray Key?
Gray Key is what they're
Okay.
calling it. But so Gray Shift is the company. It's a really small company. It's led, I guess, by an ex-Apple engineer.
Oh,
And-
turncoat.
And somebody leaked some photos from an actual device in the field where this. So at least Gray Shift has had the sense to lock it geofence. So they set it up for you. It's only being advertised and released to police agencies or what do you call that? Other agencies that
Government
are
agencies.
government agencies like
Federal
police forces,
law enforcement agencies.
law enforcement agencies.
Mhm.
Thank you. And it's geofenced very heavily. So once it's been set up, it can't be moved. Which, if you know anything about networking, that's not actually true. But so they have it geofenced to those places. Their site is only accessible to law enforcement agencies, and you can pick up for the low price for $15,000. They will give you one of these things.
Low price.
It
Actually,
unlocks
that
Do
is
they give it to you, or they license it to you temporarily?
Yeah, is it like
up
a
to
lease?
up to 300 phones. No, it's local. You buy the device and it's local to you. So it's not a website. It's not something. It's an actual piece of hardware they bring to the law enforcement agency.
I just felt something touching my junk. I thought it was egg.
It was Simon.
It was Simon.
Simon's like, high five, bro.
Why is your foot on my junk?
And then he trots out of the room like I gave him a high five. But yeah, but you can also then there's the one that you pay $30,000 for.
Whoa.
Not geofenced, I don't believe.
Oh.
Can go anywhere, can do unlimited phones, but so some photos got leaked of the device.
That's
you
a
can
bargain.
Yeah, seriously, I think they paid more to the guy whoever
Russian
unlocked it.
trolls
Yeah.
pay very well.
Yeah, they.
How many is rubles of $30,000?
How could I get one of these?
Oh, jeez. Don't make me do that math.
So yeah, but it's a weird looking device with two lightning cables coming out of the box.
Is it like a brute force method here?
So the way there's not a lot of the pictures show the device and then it shows an iPhone. So what happens? They plug both devices in, one locked, one not. It takes longer if you have a 6-pin password.
It must be brute force then if it takes longer for it's a bigger password.
And my understanding is you plug two of the same phone in or something. I think it does like some sort of copy. And after a while, and the article just says after a while, a black screen comes up that displays the passcode, the PIN code.
So they must be disabling the lockout
Yeah.
and then just brute force it.
Yeah. So this shows it.
That's interesting.
Anyway, it's a
Probably like a hardware exploit.
yeah. It
Like
seems
something
like
in a
it.
chip.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you've got to have the same model.
Yep. And
Well, if it sounds like it's copying the whole OS
yeah,
and then like just
what they're probably doing is copying the whole OS over to a phone that's been modified, that has the security chip removed, the lockout chip removed, and once they make an ISO copy of it over to the less restricted hardware, then they can brute force it.
brute force as much as they need to.
Without actually just because eventually the Apple phone will lock out, and it's like every 3 tries or 5 tries it locks out
Yeah.
for a
Mine
minute.
is
Or,
set for 3.
yeah,
So what you could do is instead of doing the PIN code, you could do like a 30-digit password.
yeah,
That would take a long time.
that
That
would
would.
take a long time.
But then I use my face most of the time.
That's true.
Uh-huh.
It would
That's
only
true.
suck the very first time you turn on your device.
But wouldn't they just if you're some sort of terrorist though, don't they just like take your body if you perished in the attack and hold your phone over your face and
Well, see,
unlock it?
There are all sorts of lawsuits about that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Like
that's,
how-
I was
What are the
thinking,
rights to your face? Yeah.
Exactly. I've been thinking about that for a while. It's like it's all biometrics now. Just take someone's thumb and put it on the thumb pad.
What if they're alive still?
Take their thumb and,
And
put
put-
it on the thumb pad.
There, right? So that's actually there's a lot of legal
Oh, yeah.
rabble going on about that. But anyway, it's a cool thing to show that there's just a hardware out there that can just do what they wanted anyway.
That's crazy. At least you have to be plugged in, and they can't do it
At least
wirelessly.
Yeah, and at least this had to happen. At least it had to go about this way instead of Apple making and even Google or somebody
Yeah.
making some weird backdoor like, here's the keys if you ever do need to get in.
Yep.
Because they tried to use terrorism and a tragedy to try and like force that issue. So I'm glad that security wise they kind of stuck to their guns.
Capitalism steps up.
Yeah.
Takes more taxpayer money.
Yeah. All right. A couple of quick articles. So file this under leaks and rumors, but it looks pretty legitimate. The Ryzen 2nd generation CPU reviews, not reviews, but
Specs?
benchmarks,
Yeah, benchmarks.
kind of thing.
I'm excited for this just because the Ryzen board, the socket doesn't change.
Yeah, so
I'm cool. I'm liking that.
So you're looking at probably, if this is to be believed, an increase of anywhere from, depending on what you're doing, 10 to 20%.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, which is good for a single generational jump. And doing things like also increasing the speed between the different core clusters
Yeah, the
for
caches,
their
right?
for their Infinity Fabric and the cache and the memory caches and things like that. So it will also include a uptick on the frequency. So I think these ones will come with a turbo boost up to 4.3 or 4.4 gigahertz. Somewhere around there. Basically, they're calling this Zen Plus architecture. Same architecture, just shrunk down to a 12 nanometer process with some other refinements added, and it'll be probably 2019 when you're going to see Zen 2 architecture.
Right.
So kind of interesting, kind of cool.
And they have in this article some prices listed. I don't know if those are going to be accurate or not, but
supposedly AMD is going to charge less.
$250. I mean, I got the Ryzen 5. I didn't go Ryzen 7 on mine.
Yeah.
So if I got the Ryzen 5, $250 for a 20% increase,
That's
not bad.
That's
That's
pretty
not
good.
a bad deal, especially for such ease of changeout. You just flip it out and put the new
same
one
socket, so you just pull the old one out, drop the
Yep.
new one in, and they've committed to this socket, the AM4 socket, until 2020. So that
Nice.
means Zen 2 is going to be AM4, and whatever they do after Zen 2 will probably also be AM4
in.
socket.
Zen 2 Plus.
So
You go, AMD.
I think that's pretty freaking neat.
Yeah, they're actually, statistics show that they're actually pulling some of the market share from Intel, making
Yeah.
Intel have to pay attention a little
For the
bit.
first time in like 9 years.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but that's good. That's good. Also, Sony released some God of War footage for the new God of War game. Comes out in a month, and
Is that how close it is?
yeah,
Yeah.
comes out in
Man.
a month, and the footage they released, we're gonna link to the Digital Foundry, not tear down, but what's the word I'm looking for?
Analysis.
Analysis. That's yes, the Digital Foundry analysis of the new footage, and it looks bonkers in pretty much every aspect. The graphics look just awesome, way nice, and the gameplay looks super fun. And this is a preference that I have. I'm a sucker for Norse mythology, and this all takes place in Norse mythology instead of Greek mythology. And so that's another added bonus for you Norse mythology junkies like myself. So I don't know. I this game just looks really cool.
Sony once again killing it with exclusives.
Yep.
Though Xbox has one coming out tomorrow. Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves comes out tomorrow. I downloaded the final beta for that, never got around to playing it. So
Yeah,
sorry,
I didn't have time either.
sorry about that.
I had Monster Hunter.
Yeah. Owen,
Sea of Thieves?
did you play it?
No, I
Okay.
downloaded it though, but I didn't.
like
Whoa, that's like 90% further than he normally comes.
Yep.
So
It was on
yeah.
my old system. Then I migrated over and didn't re-download it on my new one.
And I'll be honest, like that game looks cool,
It
but
looks cool, but it looks like one you've got to have friends
exactly
to play with. Like playing it with random.
Yeah, you need people that are going to work together as a team, and you all need a headset to talk to each other, and like if
Dedicated time. Like you try to wrangle all these busy people together.
Yeah.
It's rough.
you
Yeah.
got now if you got a group of friends that's down to do that, I think the game looks like it's going to be super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot of fun. But if you're more of a single player kind of guy, this game does not look like it'd be fun for a single player, or even for just jumping on and trying to get into someone's crew. If you don't click with everyone, then you'll just be that that random guy
I'd be the guy that always leaves 5 minutes after booting it up.
swabbing the deck. So
And speaking of games, EA has claimed that they fixed Battlefront 2.
is this true?
Oh yeah.
Can you fix it?
An update coming out in a few days.
Is it possible to fix?
Have they fixed it so I won't get killed by 10-year-olds like right after I start?
No. And yeah, that is the problem with Battlefront. You die like every 5 seconds somehow. But they completely have revamped the progression system.
I saw a thing, and maybe I misread this, but someone posted that I saw that they're completely getting rid of paid-for loot boxes.
They are.
100%. It's not like on hiatus. They're going to bring it back later. It is taken out of the game.
Because I wonder how shareholders will react to that.
For items that affect gameplay, yes.
Okay.
For
So,
cosmetics, still there.
I'm down with that.
I'm
fine
totally
with
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Here's an idea.
That-
Why not start off with that?
Yeah, lead with that next time. That's how other games have been doing it like forever.
Yeah. So progression's now linear. You can finally map out how you want to progress. You'll keep everything you've already earned and unlocked, so you don't have to worry about that. Crates no longer include star cards and cannot be purchased. And you'll be able to adjust your appearance and stuff come April. So it's a
Whoa.
very, very positive step.
I'm
And
shocked.
I might think about buying it now.
Yeah.
well, lucky for you, it's on sale on Xbox Live right now for $24.
Wow.
Does that include all the DLC?
There is no DLC because it's all free.
Oh, that's
It's
right.
free
Yes.
DLC.
So
A new trend I am loving.
Yeah, indeed.
The new Monster Hunter DLC is out this week.
And it's free as well?
Yep.
Oh, that's
if
awesome.
if EA had done this back in November,
This would have been a smash.
the game would have been huge.
Yeah.
It would have crushed
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But instead, it's pretty much everyone is going to ignore it now.
Well,
Yeah.
they're backpedaling now. They're just like, hey, no, please. Oh,
It's
dang
too
it.
late if you don't capture
Yeah.
that fire
Yeah.
right away.
Yeah.
And they're adding new modes of gameplay, and I think it's a great game. Fixing this loot box
Like-
problem,
Are they going to add a battle royale mode?
they should.
They should.
Everything
Yeah.
needs Battle Royale.
If it was Star Wars Battle Royale, oh man, I don't think I'd ever leave.
Look at No Man's Sky. Like that game, there's some potential to patch that and make it really cool, but nobody knows about it anymore. Like talks
The
about that
player
game.
base is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
You
kind
know?
of died out. So
So, what's it? Do you have it on Xbox or do you
Yeah,
have it on okay.
Xbox. Yep, it looks great. Graphics are wonderful.
I might get that for $24. That's
And-
not a
and
bad.
and it looks really good on X.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
So, something to think. Did you pick that one up, Egg?
No.
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 Me
I
neither.
don't want to get killed by 10-year-olds. I hear the single-player campaign is really good, so I'll
90% of it is.
Yeah.
There's like a couple levels where you play as a hero, like Han or Luke, and those levels are just
So I'm like,
horrible.
I
It's
might-
who designed this? A
Wait a minute,
kindergartner?
I might pick it up for that.
The worst part of the single player campaign is when you get to play as the most memorable characters.
Exactly.
What?
Yep.
Because they did it. They
But-
did it. They did it for a token appearance, just
Yeah,
so people are
they
like,
did.
no, they're in the game.
Good thing though, those levels are tiny, so
Okay.
it's hardly anything. It doesn't really tie much into the campaign.
Nice.
They just needed some screenshots of it so they could put that in the original marketing. So people are like, no,
Put that on the
Luke,
back of
look,
the
there's
box.
Han.
Play
Yeah.
as Luke Skywalker.
Exactly.
Well, I might consider that now then. All right, we got a BS. A BS. I don't think I read this.
This is in the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, what
I
is
saw it
going
and
on?
I didn't even bother because I know it's BS.
I know that's exactly.
You see this headline every year or two.
Yeah.
Exact same headline, and it never happens.
No.
Oh, you should probably read the headline.
says the. Oh wait, I was looking at what you wrote. What is the headline, Jarron?
That is the headline.
Oh, that is.
Yep.
That's.
The battery boost we've been waiting for is only a few years out.
Oh my gosh.
The Wall Street Journal, so it has some credibility.
Yeah.
It's not.
You know who owns the Wall Street Journal now, right?
Is that Rupert Murdoch?
Yeah.
Oh, credibility.
He bought it
out,
a few years ago.
Out the window.
I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh yeah. So we've been talking a lot about
'cause it's got no credibility.
Solid state batteries.
Yeah.
No,
that-
This is not.
that's just our opinion. It's not fact.
Oh, right.
Don't sue the Gadget spot.
also true. Besides, you won't get anything besides an old table and some microphones.
And my tears.
We'll bottle those up for
Yep.
This is a nice table, though.
you. Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, so this is not solid state batteries. This is something completely different, which surprised me. They're lithium silicon batteries.
so it still uses lithium, though, which is a rare earth metal, which is
Yeah, it
hard
is.
to come by.
But it's also using silicon, which is plentiful.
That is true.
And silicon apparently holds a whole lot more energy than the previous anode that they were using in there.
Huh.
And the only problem is it's not very stable if you use silicon as the anode. So when you charge it up, it like swells and all sorts of bad stuff
So
happens.
more explosions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But however, they've
They should
they've
just call it Galaxy Note 7.
They're like,
Sam's-
we've almost got it figured out,
Sam-
guys.
Samsung batteries,
We're
few years
almost
out.
there.
These are only blowing up once every 4 tries now.
but they've been able to overcome that hurdle,
Oh.
and but it only means a battery boost of 10 to 30%.
Oh, that's
So probably the first gen will be 10% better, which is almost the boost you get every year with lithium ion
Yeah.
anyway.
solid.
Better boost for more power efficient equipment.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
just as dangerous still. So I think solid state batteries are the way to go.
Solid State is claiming like double efficiency, isn't it?
Yeah.
And non-volatile.
Yeah, they got non-volatile ones now.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
That's
I think that's what's in the new Samsung phones.
No, solid-state batteries aren't out yet. They're still lithium-ion in the Samsung phones, yeah.
Yeah, but they're not flammable. You can puncture them. And
Oh, yeah. They did a whole big thing on making them a lot more safe.
Yeah.
For
So
sure.
silicon can hold 25 times as much energy as the typical lithium-ion battery. Problem is to make it so it's safe.
You have to
Right.
neuter
But
it.
it's only
Yeah.
10% as safe.
So after they make it safe, it's 10 to 30%
Right.
better. I mean, I'll take it if solid-state batteries are still far out. Problem is it's still kind of far out. They still have to figure out how to mass produce it. So BS.
BS. All right.
whenever you see that headline, go in knowing it's BS.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if there's anything in the headline also about a university participating.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because that means it's still way in the research and development phase.
We just need funding, so we had to put this into an article
Exactly.
so that we could take it and show that we did this article.
That's exactly right. All right. Was there anything else you guys wanted to hit on?
Uber.
Oh, yes. We better hit on this.
That's a good pun right there.
Yeah.
Uber. We're going to hit on Uber.
Hit on,
Oh, that's not funny because somebody died.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
I'm a terrible person.
I'm sorry, people. Anyway.
So who's going to tell this one?
I'll take it.
All right.
So
I haven't
Tempe,
read the article yet.
Tempe, Arizona, an autonomous Uber vehicle struck somebody last night around 10 p.m. and that person died. That's interesting on many levels. Sad, of course, but that kind of changes the game on autonomous driving right now because this is the
Uber's,
first.
Yeah.
This is the first death that's actually happened, right?
And this is Uber and they were doing testing in Tempe, right?
Yeah.
This is their test bed, so Uber was doing their test
That's not
autonomous
so
driving.
good.
No, it's not. Actually, I have a friend whose father is in charge of the city of Phoenix law type stuff, and they went to Phoenix first. Can we test Uber in your city? He said no. You're not going to do it. So
Sounds like
Tempe. It says good decision.
yeah.
So Tempe chose yes, and this is what happened.
So, but what are the circumstances around this?
Nobody knows yet.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm like, was the person really drunk?
Exactly. That's what I'm wondering. What is
Was it? Or they're like, oh, this car won't hit me. We'll just watch. And then,
exactly. I'm wondering if there was
That's what I'm curious about.
intentional foul play. Kind
I'm
of
also
a thing.
curious,
but maybe not.
How many miles they've driven without
Yeah.
killing someone
Yeah.
compared to a regular Uber driver.
Right.
I still think autonomous driving is safer once
the
everything's
potential to be,
figured
yeah.
out.
Once
Yeah,
adoption.
potential to be safer.
Yeah, once there's mass adoption, I think it will
Yeah.
be.
Especially, massive. Once you have 90+% of the cars on the road driving autonomously, I'm sure if they don't do this, then they're stupid. You have all of them link up so that they know where each of them is around
If
each
you-
other.
Yeah,
the
that's one of the
entire
things they're
time.
doing.
And
Yeah,
if you
okay.
haven't seen it already, just go watch, just to prove that. There's 100% autonomous factories for Alibaba. Have you seen those
Oh,
forklifts?
really? 'Cause I
And once
know
you watch those,
Amazon is working toward that.
and when you watch those forklifts run around the factory and not hit anybody and not have like catastrophes and they're all autonomous, you go, okay, there's maybe a place where autonomous driving can have a place,
Yeah.
but you have to have everybody doing it because you can't have one person be like, this guy's going too slow and jump out and make a
Right.
snap decision that the system can't handle.
It'll be interesting to see what shakes out in the autonomous driving industry because of this.
Yeah, I wonder, do you think governments and things are going to try and crack down on allowing for testing in cities and allowing for
If it happens again,
I guess how far do you think it'll set it back?
This
if at
will,
all?
I think the details behind this case will say a lot about that.
Yeah.
I think this will set it back a few months. If it happens again in a short time period, then I think it's going to be set back.
Because Uber did say
A
that
lot longer.
they have paused all their autonomous testing right now since this happened.
Interesting. This will be an interesting story to watch develop.
And the people that developed the software, I mean, will this weigh on their conscience? I mean, that'd be hard for me.
Once again, like Owen and Egg said, it'll depend on the details.
Yeah.
And that's long been an issue with autonomous driving. Who do you decide to save? Like, if there's
Yes.
as people, we are faced with impossible situations where you choose.
Have you read Asimov's 3 Laws of Robotics?
Exactly. Right? Who do you save?
Yeah.
You watch iRobot, it's kind of the same principle at play there.
Or read this collection of short stories, which is much better.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I've read.
I don't disagree.
Now, how many books are there in the iRobot or in the robot series?
It's a collection of short stories.
But there's
yeah.
one book that has a bunch of short stories, but I think there's a couple other books after that, isn't there? Or maybe I'm thinking of his Foundations.
I think you're thinking of
Foundation
one of
has
those
like
series, yeah.
5 or 6 books.
I think there's like 7 or 8.
Yeah, I've read iRobot though, and it's good.
Yeah. That might have to make it to my collection. Just because that whole concept like interests me of who chooses.
Yeah.
When AI is learning constantly, at what point this is like what Elon Musk and Stephen Hawking are afraid of. What happens when they learn that they don't care, that it doesn't matter, that we're doomed?
Yeah.
So
or like all the movies and scary AI books.
Right.
What happens when AI realizes the greatest threat to humanity, which it's trying to protect, is humanity itself?
Yeah, right.
That's why you trick the AI, like we mentioned in a previous episode. Make AI think that the biggest important thing to humanity is like eating toaster bagels or something. And so they'll
Give
take
it
away all of our toaster bagels.
Give it a different goal.
Yeah.
I love toaster bagels.
Yeah, we just need the ability to corrupt the data every once in a while to reset the system.
Uh-huh.
Like the Matrix. Perfect.
Solved. We solved it right here on
Solved
the
it.
Gadget Spot.
You heard it here first.
Hey, got a quick PSA. That same sale that gives you Battlefront 2 for $24, you can get Titanfall 2 for $6.
I've seen that deal before, though.
If you don't have Titanfall 2
On Xbox for $6?
on Xbox,
Oh man.
download that.
Does it have, what are they? Not cross-play, but like cross-purchasing?
Not for Titanfall 2.
Okay.
No.
For the PC, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. But I mean, you can usually find it on PC for less than $10 as
Yeah.
well. EA's to the point with that game where they're just like practically giving it away because they want people to keep playing it, which is a shame because the game is fantastic. It shouldn't ever
Awesome
be.
game.
It should not be in that position. It should be in the same position, if you ask me, as like
It came out with same time as too many other games.
exactly. That's exactly what
And it
happened.
just didn't strike a chord.
Because oh man, that game's so fun though. I continuously come back to that game when I want a first-person multiplayer fix. That's my go-to. And the single player in that game, so good.
Yeah, it is really good.
Did you ever play that one, Egg?
I haven't yet. I
Oh
need to.
man, the single player, it's short. It's only like 6 hours.
Okay.
It is
Yeah,
really.
$6 is worth that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
it is
yeah.
really neat.
Yeah, when I
Here's
since
the
I
question: should I get it on my Xbox or on my PC?
It's
do you have
optimized for the X.
do you have an X or do you
No.
have a? I would
I have
say.
a 720p TV.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that detail. I would say if you're buying it just for the single player, PC. But if you do want to play multiplayer on it, probably Xbox.
It's great though. Like I use it to get my Halo fix since there's nothing come out like in that realm. for
Halo
me.
6, didn't they announce that yet?
I don't think so.
Oh no, they didn't.
No, they
haven't
didn't.
even said anything about
Nothing
it
about it.
because they hate us.
But I got my Xbox One X just in case they do.
You're waiting for the
That's it.
update.
It'll be a launch
My-
title on the next
yeah,
one.
Yeah,
I know, right? If they do that, I swear to the gods of Halo, I will be so pissed off because I told my wife's like, "You're only getting this console for one game," and I said, "I have to be prepared for when Halo 6 gets announced."
coming to the Xbox 2,
I'll be honest. I bought my PS4 because of Monster Hunter.
and now it's on all platforms.
Well, no. I mean Monster Hunter for the new one because I had more friends playing it there.
oh,
Oh.
And then I also bought a Vita just for that, so I can
I love
play
the
it
Vita.
on my couch.
Viva la vida!
Viva la vida! That system. What a sad turn of events. for
Don't
that
you
system.
knock my Vita.
No way. I
it's
had
a
a
fine
Vita.
little system.
I loved the
Y-
hardware.
you could still play the PS4 on it.
But man, it's too bad that Sony just abandoned ship on that thing because it was really neat.
Yeah, it was.
One of the first really successful implementations of an OLED screen commercially on the first model of the PlayStation Vita.
Yeah, because it didn't have a pentile format like
Uh-huh.
Samsung always used.
It looked so good.
Yeah, it still looks good.
That's true.
Yeah.
Too bad there's no good games for it.
New games.
New games.
No
sorry.
good new games.
Right. All right, I think we're done. Thanks for tuning in, giving us a download, giving us a listen. And Egg, thanks for coming on our show.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
Wait. I mean, spasibo, my друзья.
Yeah, Russian. He's a troll. All right, Owen, now why don't you take us out?
Hey, we hope you care.
Gadget Spot.